See, let's first look into the definition of project management, and then we would look into what all is included under project management. So by definition, project management as given in the PMBOK guide, project management is the application of knowledge. You apply your knowledge, you apply skills, you apply people skills, you apply soft skills, you apply general management skills, you apply tools like Primavera, you apply tools like MS Project, like Microsoft Excel, you apply techniques like expert judgment, and there are not many more techniques that we would talk about during the length of this program. So all these are applied to the project activities to meet the requirements, and once the requirements are met, the project is a successful one. So project management is the application of knowledge, application of skills, application of tools and techniques. All these are applied to the project activities so that you meet the requirements. And managing a project includes doing so many things actually. It includes doing tens of things, but we cannot talk about all of them. If we look into few of the things that come under managing a project, includes identifying the requirements on a project. Any gaps in collecting the requirements, then you would later on you would see that the customer is not happy with the product you're developing. So identifying the requirements is part of managing a project, and then establishing clear and achievable objectives. Projects have objectives, like the project objectives include, like the project have something called as the cost objective, project have something called as the time objectives, and project has something called as the quality objective. And a successful project is one where you meet the requirements of the project. It means you deliver the scope. So a successful project is one where you meet the requirements, or where you deliver the scope of the project while meeting the project objectives. Like say the cost objective of this project is that this should be done in $4 million. And say the time objective of the project is that this should be done in say 26 months. And say the quality objective of the project is that this is a 3 Sigma project. So what is 3 Sigma, 6 Sigma? We will talk about this in detail in quality management. So now how do you define a successful project? A successful project is where you delivered the scope of the project. You made the stadium, you made the flyover, and you did within the cost, like you did within $4 million. So it means you met the cost objective. And you did it in 26 months, it means you met the time objective, and you did meet, say, the quality objective as well. So a successful project is where you deliver the scope of the project while meeting the project objectives. With all the methodologies in place today, like the PMBOK, the Prince2, the Agile. In Agile you have again Scrum and extreme programming and so many of them. With all the methodologies in place, only around 11% projects are successful in the world. So it is not so easy to meet all the project objectives on a mega project, because when you try to hold one end, the other end goes loose actually. For example, if you're running behind time, if you try to make up the time, the cost gets impacted. You might have to bring in additional resources and put things in parallel. You have to fast track. So when you're trying to make up on the time, then the cost is coming out. So But you know what? If 11% projects, around 11% projects are successful, but most of the projects are challenged. A challenged project is one where you deliver the scope of the project, but you don't meet one or more of the project objectives. You delivered the flyover, you made, right, you delivered the scope, but it happened at $4.9 million. It means that on this project you could not meet the cost objective. There was a cost overrun on the project. The scope is delivered, and if you don't meet one or more of the project objective, then those projects are called as challenged projects. They are not failure. So most of the projects are challenged. And then thirdly, you have projects that are failure, where you're not even able to deliver the scope of the project. So you have the statistics on the net year on year, like in terms of the percentage projects successful, failure, and challenged. So managing a project includes establishing clear and achievable objectives. The objectives should be challenging, but it should be something that you could achieve it. So the project objectives, like I was telling you, project objectives are like the cost, time, and quality. And like I said, you have projects that are successful, you have projects that are challenged, and you have projects that are failure. A failure is where you're not even able to deliver the scope of the project. You see failures more on the research and development side. That's the reason why a research project, even if it is where you meet 30% of the project objectives, this is considered to be better than a regular project that you do, which is like more than 90%, meeting the project objective. So this is considered to be better job than this one. Because when you talk about a research project, you are working in an unknown space, and when you talk about, say, your company does SAP implementation projects, they already have done 110 projects like that before. This is the 111th one. So what is so new about it? It's a known animal. Even if you hit 98%, even then the other project that is like 30% successful, 30% meeting the objective is considered to be a better one. That's how they rate the project, in fact. So managing a project, like I told you, includes identifying the requirements themselves, and managing a project includes establishing clear and achievable objectives, and balancing the competing demand of scope, time, and cost within the framework of quality. Scope, time, and cost are called as triple constraint. Scope, time, and cost are called as triple constraint, because these three terms are interrelated: scope, time, and cost. If you touch any one of these three, it impacts the other one as well. Like, say, the scope of the project is to do a ground plus 10 floor building, and you're like halfway in execution now. The sponsor walks in and he says, man, I want to add scope to the project. You ask him, sir, what are you looking at? He says, man, I want to add 2 more floors on top of this building now. So adding 2 more floors is like adding the scope. So when you add the scope, obviously you would need more money to add 2 floors. You would need more time as well.